caffeine?
We are going to learn how to plan plans.
Oh, you have booze, that'll help.
Yeah, but then when he's doing all that.
Learning how to plan the plans that we need to plan for.
Pretty much. Chris.
Someone on Yahoo Questions posted, "How long does an owl live?" And then the next person put 6.5 books.
Harry Potter reference.
Tell Chris to hurry the flip up. All right. So we start out looking at an odd group of adventurers that have been placed in an odd conundrum. There is Hazel, the swashbuckler, Gilrun, the paladin, Drake, the archer, Clark, the fighter, and Susuri, the ranger/rogue. Who is of clearly no association.
At all.
None.
Whatsoever.
Now, these adventurers have been contracted by the King of Hyrule to kill a kraken sent from a neighboring country, Tamriel. And this kraken has been sinking his transports, which has been affecting his economy in an adverse way. However, along the way to the ocean where this kraken is, they have discovered that it was the King of Hyrule who released the kraken and is destroying his own ships, with strong evidence leaning that this is purposeful. Clearly they are being used, however the monster is still killing people, so the group is left with a number of questions as well as an odd dilemma. Some of the questions that rage through their minds are, why would the king send a monster? Was it really on purpose or is he being framed? Why on earth did he send them to kill it if he released it on purpose? Why is he destroying his own ships? But more than anything else, the biggest question is, do they double back to confront the king, or do they do what he asked them to do and kill the kraken?
Oh yeah, our group would be stuck on that.
If they decide to slay the beast, the next question is, how do you even do that? So, in order to answer these questions and to come up with the answers that they need, first they have to go over all of the information that they know, and if they come up short, they need to find a way to gather more information. With that, I am going to give you the first step in creating plans that plan. Step 1. Assess your problems and your goals. Okay? Before you can decide on anything, you need to figure out what it is you as a group want, what it is you as an individual wants, and what it is that is stopping you from achieving those things.
Imminent death.
Yes, that is usually a good incentive.
Assess your problems and goals.
Anyway. Poor Chris. Gonna die. So, they lay down all of their information. At least one of them, Hazel, the swashbuckler, oddly enough, takes really good notes over all of the sessions. He has the original information that was given from the king, as well as the original contract. She has the information laid out that when they discovered that the king released the kraken, and they have the evidence that leads them to believe that it was the king who did it intentionally and on purpose. So, looking at the evidence, the group goes ahead and decides that the king, who is already of a suspicious nature, is nefariously planning on slaying his own people and destroying his own ships. Clearly, he has some sort of plan set up. So the question now is, why is he doing this? And why is he sending them to kill this kraken?
Insurance.
Yes, you got it. They need more information. In order to gather more information, they ask their rogue ranger, Susuri, to contact his old thieving crew to see if they might be able to steal or gather any information they might have. Which leads us to step 2. Analyze your options as well as your allies available. So by asking Susuri to help them gather information, they know that in time, hopefully they will have something that will lead them to the answers that they seek, if not the answers themselves. However, they still have to make a decision on where to go. Should they kill the Kraken or head back to the king? If they kill the Kraken and they know it was released on purpose and that the king sent them intentionally, they can only believe that the king either wants them to die or that he wants them to kill the Kraken. Either way, they have to believe that both options be part of his plan. Do they want him to achieve his plan? Obviously, no. They don't like this guy killing his own people for whatever reason he's doing. So if they double back, the Kraken is still slaying innocent people, destroying ships, and causing the entire country to suffer. If you guys were in this situation, what would you do?
Take 6 sessions to talk about it.
The first step, I believe, would be to go ahead and complete the contract by killing the Kraken, just on a moral basis of, we want to save the people that are dying. And so if we double back and be like, hey, did this on purpose, yeah, that would work and everyone would be mad at the king, but then the Kraken's still over there killing people.
Convince the Kraken to kill the king.
Not everyone can do that.
Yeah, I'm going to convince the Kraken to kill the king. That's what I would do. Yep, I'm in on that plan.
Brad, your answer is correct, although incomplete. In this case, the group does decide to go and kill the Kraken. However, there are some additional reasons. As well as it being the moral and correct thing to do, it also buys them time, critical time, in order to find out what's going on. If they doubled back, went into the king's palace, and accused him of killing his own people, it's very likely he would just have them arrested and executed.
Boom. Campaign over.
To go into a situation where they don't know anything that's going on. They need at least some idea. So at least on their way to the Kraken and the killing of the Kraken will buy them time and reputation, which will add to their credibility if they do have to accuse the king. Furthermore, as they continue onward, they come across a few more allies. Most of these allies seem to specifically be meant to help them kill the Kraken. They come across a boat captain. They come across a smithy who specializes in building cannons. They come across a aquatic monster hunter with knowledge on the beast itself. So because they've determined their short-term goal is to kill the Kraken, while they're determining how to accomplish the long-term goal, which is find out what's going on and do what is necessary to save the country, you still don't want to go on without none of them have ever encountered a Kraken before. Only one of them has ever been on a ship before. None of them know any of the weak points or any of the behavioral habits of a Kraken. They just know that it sinks entire ships. So rather than just hopping on a canoe and gonna go kill it for whatever reason, they specifically seek out or happen across people in coming across these allies. The Monster Hunter provides critical information on how the Kraken acts. They discover that they can actually bait the Kraken and attack it from the outside. They discover that the smithy who builds cannons also has a special kind of cannonball that can explode while underwater. They discover that the ship captain is somebody who's actually seen the Kraken before and is willing to do anything in order to get his revenge on the evil monster thing. This is all very convenient because it's just an example, and I don't want to go into too much depth about all of the problems and trials that they'd have to get to. Clearly, things wouldn't be quite so simple for all of you, as has been proven through the rest of the campaign. But with the fact that they were intentional in knowing what they needed to look for, it assisted them in finding what it was that they needed. Okay? That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, because
Okay.
I could hear 90% of it.
Well, that leads to our third step. I'll go ahead and type it out.
I will definitely have to watch this after.
Are we recording it?
Yes, it's already recording.
Okay, good.
Because I'm a genius.
Record the,
The next
record
step
the
is to
the
create.
learning part of this, but not the rest of it. So it's shorter,
Right. I'm aware.
more watchable.
The next step is to create a strategy to achieve the goals. In creating a strategy, you create intentionality so that you're not just running around with your head cut off, doing what other people tell you to do, just blindly following whatever lead you have. With a strategy, you're able to specifically and intentionally seek out certain options and certain assistances that will directly lead to helping your specific goals. Okay? Yes, well, that sounds great. Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
However, strategies are not in and of themselves enough to understand what to do. A strategy, so their strategy is to find out the big picture, find out what's going on, okay? However, in order to achieve the strategy, they need to information, which means they had to come up with tactics in order to achieve their strategy. Strategy.
Oh.
Which means they had to come up with smaller steps in order to work their way towards their larger goal. You don't just want to say something along the lines of, like, I don't know, we want to kill Guinness.
I was told if I believed anything was possible.
The last conversation I had with Chase, where I told you guys to give me your list of priorities,
It was very rough.
it was very, very vague. It was a good idea of strategies, but it had no tactics involved. You had no idea how to accomplish the things that you prioritized. We have all sorts of spatulas. Look in the drawer that's right next to the stove. Like, there's the stove, turn around 180, there's a drawer in front of you, look in there.
I feel like you guys aren't taking this seriously.
When do you guys ever take any?
I really am, but I still only get about 80% of what he says.
It's okay. I've got most of it in the recording.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. The way you're describing it, you're kind of making it sound like the strategies are the goals.
No, the strategies are ways to achieve the goals, and the tactics are ways to achieve the strategies. Okay? Their goal is to find out what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? What's the big picture?
Right.
The strategy to get that is to gather more information, find out what's going on, and buy time. The tactic is to go and kill the Kraken, which buys them time, and use these thief contacts to get information.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Everyone follow so far?
So far, so good.
Okay. So, the group wanders out. They go and barely, but successfully, kill the Kraken. On their way back from killing the Kraken, they are intercepted by one of the Tamrielen ships and are escorted to Tamriel. While in
Is that the place that
that is the place that the king of Hyrule claimed sent the Kraken when they did not.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Keep going.
Oh, while there, the king of Tamriel says that he learned that they killed the Kraken. He thanks them for killing the Kraken, and he asks them to fulfill a contract to kill another very large monster that is roaming his land. Finding this odd, the group, of course, with very careful diplomacy, being sure not to insult the king in any way, asks exactly where this other monster is, what is it, when did it show up, and it's revealed that this monster, along with several other monsters of large size, have been released in Tamriel for unknown reasons that none of his advisors and mages and scholars can figure out, about the same time the Kraken showed up. It's at this point in time, one of the more intelligent parties in the group, Susuri, comes up with the theory that perhaps the king of Hyrule released these monsters, specifically putting most of them in Tamriel and only one in his own lands to make him seem blameless, while Tamriel suffers most of the brunt. As only his ships were suffering, he theorized that maybe while everyone's attention was towards the coast, the king was building his army. So deciding to go and check that out, as well as accepting the contract on the monster, Susuri contacts his Thieves Guild and specifically asks them to look for this specific information. In so doing, it significantly cut down the amount of time in which they would receive information from the Thieves Guild. And within a day, maybe two, they received the information that the king was indeed building his army, and it was building very close to the border of Tamriel. So the plot unfolded. Turns out the king decided to raise these monsters to try and take out his neighbor. It set into motion a cataclysm the king had not expected, and a whole lot more of these guys showed up, started tearing up everything. Our group were supposed to be the heroes, but instead they ended up killing each other because half of them turned evil.
What?
Yeah, it was great. Don't worry about it.
That's not foreboding.
What campaign were you playing?
That was an actual campaign I played in.
What?
Yeah.
Was that one of the ones where you killed your party?
Yep. That was one of the ones, the first one, where I killed almost my whole party.
Why?
Because they all turned evil.
Why'd they all
Except
turn
for
evil?
one. Because they decided to.
So it was a bad campaign.
They were not good players. However, the plot was interesting.
It is an interesting.
So,
But were they evil players?
no, they just
No.
weren't good players.
Well, that's less fun.
Sad day.
Yeah.
Did they want to
Not
join with the king or something?
Nope. They just wanted to kill good guys. It's
That's
pretty
just
lame.
disappointing.
I think that's actually the best reason to be evil.
You want to kill good guys?
So myself and Gilrun the Paladin decided to kill everybody else, and we succeeded.
That's a very one-sided party. If two of the players can kill everyone else.
It was awesome.
How much killing did the paladin do?
The paladin killed the archer and the fighter.
Nice.
Were they really? They couldn't kill 2 people?
Nope.
That bad?
Yep.
Did they just not know how to use their powers?
Well, when it found out that we were going to have the party split, myself and Gilrun went into another room. We sat down and we said, okay, we have to kill these guys. That's our new goal. How are we going to do it? And we came up with a plan.
You should probably tell that story too.
Okay. After deciding that we needed to kill the players who turned against us, they were still trapped within the Dwarven city, trying to slay their way out. One of them had died from the fight in the Kraken, and as soon as a Dwarven priest, as a favor of gratitude to us, raised the fighter killed the priest, and then the archer killed the guards, and then the swashbuckler killed the people who were watching outside the door. So I grabbed Gilrun and we shadow stepped away to get out of there. As soon as we found out what they were doing, we split up, and he and I decided we were going to we knew how they operated, we knew how they worked. And now that they were of evil alignment, back in 3.5, paladins got crazy high bonuses against bad guys of evil alignment. Like crazy high bonuses. So we just needed to draw them into a trap. We let it leak that the Dwarven treasury, due to the threat, was being moved. And the other party fell for it, tried to go after the treasure, and as soon as they did, they walked into the trap that I had set up. It took out the swashbuckler in one hit, probably about 2/3 to half the health of the other 2 guys, and then the paladin came out and just wiped the floor with whatever was left.
How'd you leak the information?
Well, we were still friends of the dwarves, so we organized with them through word of mouth. First, we went to some of the more neutral, lower parties in the Dwarven clans, the Black Market Smiths, their own rogue gallery, and through there it traveled through some of the dirtier crowds who were protecting the other party. And that's how they heard about it. Out of game though, were you guys just all still in the same room, or did the DM move from one room to the other to hear what both parties were doing? Until we all got into the same room and started killing each other, we were in separate rooms. Okay.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
So, like Chase said, he doesn't think he's clever enough to make conclusions like that. Which leads me to the final step.
Good.
I understand now.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense.
We just need to get good.
That's it.
It's so simple.
Are there any questions?
How do you get good?
Probably experience.
Tell me if you find out.
By Katie helping us. That's how.
No.
When Susuri was deducing that the king released it as a ploy so that he could look blameless and yet still build his own armies, how did you make those conclusions?
First of all, Susuri's background was that he was a ranger in his ranger force.
Mm-hmm.
So he was used to being around the king. He was used to seeing how the king operated. And he knew how the king was clever enough to try at least shallow, underhanded tricks. Though nothing on this scale. When we found out that the king had raised monsters, I started trying to figure out why the king was raising monsters. It was obvious the Kraken was released down at the coast, probably so that he would appear blameless. The only other option would be the Kraken got out of control while none of the other monsters did.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed unlikely that one monster would lose control and all of the other ones stayed perfectly fine and in their own little territories.
Mm-hmm.
Very sectionalized, very regionalized. So I went with the more appropriate. So then I was trying to figure out why. I mean, he could have had any sort of monster. He could have had a monster on the edges. Why is he attacking his ships when they're so important to him economically? Obviously, so it'd make him feel more. Everyone would view him as more blameless if he was losing something valuable. But if he was going to give up something so valuable, surely he wouldn't give it up only so that he would look blameless, and that was it. You need to get more than that in order to achieve a certain goal. And it was pretty well known, at least from somebody who was from Hyrule, that the king had been clambering after conquering his neighbors for some time. So if he had released monsters and they were destroying stuff, then the only reason they would be destroying stuff, like what else? What other purpose do you have in sending a whole bunch of monsters to just wreck up your neighbor? Sent out the monsters that says, 1, you know how to control the monsters. 2, you know how to make them go away at any point you want. And 3, you are specifically setting up a distraction for the majority of the army of your neighbor for you to plan your own attack. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of critical thinking things that you guys are going to have to do, especially after we get through with training.
I went to public school.
So, I don't think they really teach you this kind of stuff in any school.
But I was homeschooled.
I was also homeschooled as well. Yes.
Welcome to D&D school.
So,
Where
taking
you either learn.
Brad left.
He didn't tell me he was leaving. Did he just died?
I think he may have died.
He might have just died.
He died. Okay, so knowing that, let's review your own position. Okay. Guys,
I'm here. I'm looking at the Google document that
Still here, Will.
Austin made.
so first we have to review the information we know, right? What are your problems and what are your goals? Go over goals first and then problems, because problems are the things preventing your goals. First goal is probably to not have the rune on you anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any other goals?
Stop Kynnis from raising the Nine Hell Lords.
Yes. Fix the situation with the civil war he caused.
Mm-hmm. Find my sword.
Not die every time I take a soul.
For Castian to figure out his life.
Castian, please refer to step 5.
Or Raz to figure out Castian's life.
All right. So now you know your goals. You've said them out. It'll be good if when you guys get together and do this, like officially, if you actually write out the goals.
I was about to say.
Now the next question is, do any of those goals have to be prioritized first in order to achieve any of the other goals?
We have to get the rune off. That has to be step one.
Furthermore, which of these goals are
We're not entirely sure on some of them. Like,
Yeah, I don't know
Like-
if 1 and 2 need to be done before each other.
cause the rune, we have like a few months on that apparently. And the summoning of the 9 Hell Lords.
Actually, yeah, we could stall Kinnis from doing that. I'm not sure if we can stall our own death with the rune. So the rune might take priority.
Yeah, but also if
It sounds like at least one of our short-term goals is saving Edra,
Yes.
and that's extremely time-sensitive right now.
oh, that's right, Edra still hasn't been saved.
Wow.
Further-
I completely forgot about her.
Wow.
I think before Kinnis, the wizard guy that put the curse on us would
Kinnis-
probably come before Kinnis.
Kinnis put the curse on us, but Sorcerer Nurum is Kinnis's like right-hand man as far as we know. Sorcerer Nurum did some experiments for Kinnis. I don't think he's the one who put the rune on.
Yeah,
Based
because
on the,
Kinnis is the rune caster.
No.
yeah, Kinnis is the rune caster, and based on the conversation between Kinnis and Gillian,
Let's look at our thing real quick. We have a letter from Kinnis, which might say who put it on us or not.
And just like that, we moved on to step 2.
Chris gets a gold star.
Also, guys, the document that I put in the everything we were, or Will was telling us. Also known as JWC Esquire.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
It says that it's his arcane brand, but it doesn't say if Sorcerer Nurum put it on us or not.
right?
Yeah.
Well, Kinnis is the rune caster, and
Yeah.
it's been said that we are bonded with Kinnis.
Yeah.
So obviously the sorcerer put it on us.
There's another person we all forgot about that's also besides Sorcerer Nurum.
Yeah. Do you
Is
remember
it
her name?
Naomi?
The Wizard
Yes.
Goer.
The wizard who?
Goer?
Who?
Goer. The Warden's logbook says not to begin until Wizard Goer and Sorcerer Nurum arrive to oversee the interrogation.
Oh, that's right.
Who is Wizard Goer?
Another player in our board of chess. And then there's also Reva, who we don't know about.
It's so much bigger than a chessboard.
That depends on how closely you look.
Oh, I gotta add that to our list. People.
So So what other goals do we have? I have get the rune, save Edra, stop the Civil War. Was there anything else?
I think at the moment those are our immediate
Well,
goals.
we need to deal with the dragon at some point now.
It's true.
That's eventually.
That's
That's
a
still a goal, though.
We can't do anything about that until we have the freedom to move around.
They think they'll ever have freedom.
why. Why would you do this, Will?
I
can't wait till they have freedom. It makes the game so much more interesting. Hey, I'm a dungeon master.
Will.
You want to go out sometime?
Okay, so is our top goal save Edra or get the rune off?
Most urgent, I think, is saving Edra,
I agree.
and then finding out how
Okay.
close. Find out what Guinness is planning.
I want to know what those rings do that Bruenor brought us.
Yep. We need to do that. You, me, and Raz next session.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll
I don't think that's one of our goals, though.
No, it's not a goal. Well, it is part of our goals. That's
It's like a tactic.
Yeah, that's a tactic.
That's part of gathering information.
Gathering information is a strategy, not a tactic. How we go about gathering information is a strategy, or is a tactic.
Okay, so we know we want to save Edra first. Do we want to, and then next goal would be to get the rune off.
Mhm.
So let's focus, I guess, right now on getting those two goals accomplished.
Yep.
Well, it all depends. Do we want to attempt to save Edra after we see Kinnis?
Okay,
Another question to ask.
this might help.
Go on, Will.
Let's look at that doc that Austin put up.
God. Yeah.
Can't?
Anonymous ferret.
Insert the table. Let me
Anonymous
insert-
pumpkin. Oh, it's just Ben. It's not an
Oh,
anonymous.
just
It's not an anonymous pumpkin. It's just Ben. I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom just real quick.
Okay, so a spot. These top two columns. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's why it's messed up. Okay. Oh, maybe I should just do it. This might help.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh yeah, this makes things easier.
Anonymous gopher.
Let's just do that.
I've seen that before.
That's a very tiny picture.
Okay. Oh dang.
That's a well. It's trying.
Let's try this again. There we go.
Oh well. Okay.
There. Okay.
Can someone post a link in the chat so I can go to this?
Yes.
It's in the chat. It's the planning like a pro.
Yeah, when I stepped out and came back in, I did not get that message in my chats. Thank you, Will.
Oh, that's not to the document. That's just to what I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, yeah. Check the face. Check
That's
check
to the document.
in the Facebook chat. There's a link to the document as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to get on Facebook on my computer, and I wasn't going to use my phone, so.
Okay.
Ah.
So here we have a prioritization table. This is specific. Well, let's see if I can move it to step 1 because this is specifically like for step 1. Oh, I did a thing.
No.
Good thing, Will.
It won't let me go below the
Okay, so
I'm having
So-
some problems with this stuff right now.
what I'm
Yeah.
getting from this
Dang it.
is quadrant 1 is really urgent and really important. You should
Yes.
just do it. You should just set your house on fire right now.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Quadrant 2 is not very urgent, but it's really important. So you should schedule it, but never get
Yeah.
around to it, like exercising.
Yes. Yes. You got it.
And then quadrant 3 is really urgent, but it's not super important. So you just tell other people to do it and to get on with their lives and get good.
Cool.
Okay. Are we all on the same page?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so using this table as an example, what are things that should go in quadrant 1?
Save Edra.
Saving
Dave
Edra.
Edra. Dave Edra, get the rune off.
Stop Kinnis from raising the 9 Lords of Hell.
Stop kidding.
Stop Kinnis from raising the 9 Lords of Hell.
Stop kidding. Take over Hammerfell.
I'd say that's of a lower urgency.
Align with the dwarf.
Stop doing your homework for the rest of the night.
I'm not doing homework. I'm trying to learn how to plan.
Okay.
Build an army.
Oh, is that
Overthrow Steve Oria.
No, that's not
And then
possible.
take over the
Like-
world.
Those are fallen over.
Evil players. I'm gonna have to send Adrian to kill them.
Adopt a
I
puppy.
will-
Oh no, wait.
In a good way.
No, not you. We already killed him.
Bye. I love you.
Can't
Happy
do that.
birthday.
Okay, I need someone else. Held down. Like the Great Smith.
What about the Great Smith? Does he like my impression?
That's just stupid. They're not that dumb.
I didn't think
No,
my
we would
impression
take
was
over
that
the world
bad.
in a good
Hey,
way.
is that a challenge?
Got a challenge.
Is that
I thought my impression was pretty good.
But
I can totally be that dumb. You
more.
watch.
Okay. Now that we've got our goals organized, we need to do step 2. Analyze our options and our allies.
Option.
So what are the options here? How do we accomplish our goals? What can you do to accomplish the goals? And who can you bring in to help you?
What is that horrendous noise?
That
Which-
sounds like Austin's
Which
beat.
goal do you want to talk about?
Probably the most urgent one.
I think saving Edra is probably like the most urgent, just because it's like within the next few days here, and the rest of it is slightly less.
Yeah, the actual deadline is much shorter.
Yeah,
No.
saving Edra is definitely the most urgent. I wouldn't put it as the most high importance, but
No.
we should still definitely get it done. We're talking about our options. Like our options there are just to go see Kinnis, right? I mean, there's not much more we can do other than send somebody else with the idol to Kinnis. But I
We
think
don't.
we gain more and more information each time we visit with to actually go and take the idol to him.
That's not our only option, though. That's the option we decided on.
Right. That is an option. We have found one. We don't
Let's just go on to the
know.
next goal.
We don't know where she is right now. I don't think.
We don't. I'm just-
Um,
Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Do you feel like you have a severe lack of options?
Yes.
kind of, yeah.
Okay, so would it be pertinent to make one of your goals, probably an important and an urgent one, to be to find a way to make more options?
Okay. How do we do that?
The only way to make more options, gather more information. The more you understand, the more you can do with something.
Okay.
That's what allies are mostly used for. I mean, allies are used for a lot of stuff. But they're very useful for information gathering if you're asking the right questions. No.
I think I'm nervous to consider anyone outside of our party an ally, just due to the fact of how much you've spoken to me about turning allies against parties. It has made me a little nervous to trust anyone.
I think we should totally trust Gillian. That sounds like a very good idea.
You know, that sounds cool. I'm
And
thinking not.
Well, nope.
and Norim.
Note that I did not say friend. Friends, all friends are allies, but not all allies are friends.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a bunch of people that you can't trust to be your friends, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't trust them to be your ally.
That's true. Austin, what is going on?
Learn what makes a person an ally. What's the difference between a friend and an ally?
ally is someone who probably has the same goal as you.
Their goals. Okay. So, we certainly don't want the Green Dragon to be a friend, but she shares a goal, so she could be an ally. That doesn't mean you necessarily want her to be an ally or that you'll accept her as an ally. But by definition, she could be an ally. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not encouraging you to go and accept the Green Dragon's offer. That's all up to you. That's all on your table. But I'm just trying to demonstrate the specific difference between someone like Bruenor, who you could trust to be a friend and an ally, and someone who's only an ally in the strictest sense.
Like probably the Thieves Guild.
You give them enough money, their goal will align with yours.
Then I'm thinking
Lola.
it's possible we could make Hearn an ally,
What? I forget something.
and maybe a friend later down the road.
Hearn might already be an ally. He has helped us against Kinnis.
Right.
Shows he's not entirely loyal to Kinnis. I don't know if that means he wanted to see his downfall or anything, but we should probably talk to him about that.
Okay, so that'll be a tactic to get more information on the current status of the castle and Kinnis.
That's what I said a week ago. Guys.
Gillian has made it clear that he's not for Kinnis anymore.
He did also say he had something else to do that required his full attention, so I doubt he would care any about our plight.
Yeah, information at least, maybe.
We could what?
He might have information.
That's true.
They haven't figured that out yet.
What have we not figured out?
Don't worry
What
about
was that, Katie?
it. Don't worry about it.
Katie, what?
Nothing. Don't worry about
If I tell you, I'm not going to be allowed to talk anymore.
Just tap it out in Morse code.
Hold on, I have to
Signals.
I have to teach myself Morse code real quick.
I don't know where it's going.
Okay, so let me just make sure my head's on straight here. So we've agreed that our highest importance and urgency goals are to get the rune off, save Edra, and stop Kinnis, and to make more options for ourselves as to how to get those goals achieved.
Civil War is also part of one.
Right, but I feel like that's a high importance but low urgency. So I think we should take care of that after we're able to get ourselves free from Kinnis's control. So, possible tactics for how we may get more information are to, 1, talk to the Thieves Guild, 2, speak with Gillian, and also to speak with Hearn. Some possible ways to get more information.
Yeah. I thought that's what we were trying to contact him about last session.
Well, William threw a curveball.
Sure did. That's what I do.
I think we could also try to find out what Kinnis stands to gain from creating Civil War. Maybe we can find that out from the Thieves Guild somehow.
If Kinnis's plan is to take control because he wants more power, then having Hammerfell fight amongst itself weakens it, so when he summons the 9 Lords of Hell, he can more easily take over everything.
If he has a 9 Hell Lords, he doesn't really. It doesn't matter if all of Hammerfell has an army. He can take it.
So close to picking.
No, not necessarily, because
All right, guys,
there's
here's another
several.
question to ask. Is Kinnis doing this on his own? Or is there someone
What?
on Kinnis?
There was Gillian on Kinnis' side. I think now Kinnis has his ally has
Where does
abandoned
that
him.
hierarchy stop?
Kinnis is arrogant, and he broke off with Yelian to be like, I'm doing my own thing. So I doubt he would do that, like, specifically to, like, do the exact same thing again.
Oh my goodness.
Because we know he's made some sort of deal with the Nine Lords of Hell. What kind of deal has he made and for what purpose? It's something we
I don't
also
know,
need
but
to discover.
Yep, Gillian said they were going to turn on him, or that they wouldn't fulfill their bargain.
Right, which is, normal for demons and devils and stuff.
We're gonna film
If you had done smaller, you could have put that.
So that must mean Kinnis believes that he has the upper hand against the Nine Lords. So that even if they try to cross him, he believes he can still win. Which means he probably has some sort of secret weapon.
No.
on.
Yours.
Oh my goodness, you guys are so close. Come on, put the pieces together.
Nine Lords of Hell, Civil War.
All right, somebody review what we know.
There's
Okay.
just one huge piece you guys have missed. Huge piece.
Is it something we do know?
Yep, it's something you know very intimately.
Could it be the fact that he's capturing people like us and using us?
Really? Is that it? Just say yes or no.
I think so.
Gosh.
The letters he has, and I think he has actually said that he has other people like us.
Mm-hmm. He's experimented. Maybe he's gained some sort of abilities from experimenting on them.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the rune.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he thinks he can take the Nine Lords of
Again,
Hell.
what is Kenneth trying to gain?
I'm still not entirely sure what he would stand to gain by summoning the Nine Lords of Hell. Because
Wait, didn't we establish that this wasn't originally Kenneth's idea?
Well, Kinnis has apparently made a deal with the Nine Lords of Hell. So we should try to figure out what the deal was.
Okay, if Kenneth is a pawn of the Nine Lords, what do they get?
They get released
They get
That's
released
true.
from hell and they can take over everything.
here. And so they're offering Kinnis something because the guy came in and said that they'll never uphold their end of the deal.
So he threw Hammerfell into a state of civil war to weaken it, specifically between Demacia and Noxia, the city of magic.
That's not close. That's so close.
Those on top.
Okay. Is it possible that the rune on us and him protects him from the Nine Lords of Hell somehow?
Is it okay that I pushed it
That's fine.
Hmm.
if the energy from the rune is the same as demonic energy and stuff, then he would have
Because think about this. we were able to touch the demon statue full of demonic
Right.
energy without it harming us. So what if the same rune that's on Kinnis prevents demonic energy and stuff from harming him?
What if he's planning on summoning the Nine Lords and the new ruler of hell?
That
Him
would be-
becoming the new ruler of hell?
Should we put this one in the first?
Paying attention to it.
There's something that we have missed. What have we missed?
Alright, what can the Nine Lords offer Tennis that apparently no one else can?
No, I can't hear that.
Can they give him immortality?
I'm looking at the conversation between Kinnis and Gillian again. He says he wants true power, so I doubt that means just being a ruler,
Mm-hmm.
Hammerfell.
What is true power, though?
Maybe he wants to be a god.
The ability to use creation magic without screwing it up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's possible. I'm thinking that Kinnis considers true power to be control.
Keep going.
Okay, what would Kenneth want to create?
See, I'm bad at motivations because I have none.
Same though.
You guys are so close. Oh my god.
Gillian doesn't think his plans are complicated.
Okay,
No.
Will, are we going in the right direction?
You hit a lot of rabbit trails, but you seem to generally be going in the right direction.
Okay.
Okay, there's a piece of information that we've missed. We're super intimate with it, apparently.
Clearly, it's our worms.
The only thing that
He's
we're
going to
super
come
intimate with really at the moment is the rune.
And you with my soul, apparently.
Why play around with that rune specifically?
All right. If Kenneth said that he has more people like us, then that brings me to two questions. Do they have runes as well? And if not, why are we the only ones?
Let's ask the Thieves Guild. Or no.
Do you think
Right.
he's going to put the rune that's on us on the Nine Lords?
Yes, that's it. Will, it's clicked. Will's face confirms it.
No!
Is that it?
Someone humor me and count. How many of us are there?
There's 8 of us.
How many of us have the rune, including Kenneth?
Oh, okay,
Including
let me look
Kenneth's
at our
9.
party.
Not. Okay. And Kenneth is trying to
Yeah.
summon
There's 8 of us, and there's 9
the
lords of
Nine
hell.
Lords of Hell to the mortal realm,
Mhm.
right?
Right. To put the rune on them, so that he controls them.
So I'm
Just
snowballing
why-
here, but what if that's where we play in?
What are you talking about?
You mean like that there's 8 of us and there's 1 of him, so we should group up and hit him till he dies?
Yeah. No.
Katie likes that plan.
9 lords,
should do
9
that.
bodies. Kynnis would gain the power of a god, or at least one of them.
If the 9 lords did not
Do the
know,
math.
did
9
not,
lords, 9 physical bodies.
he wants to turn us into the 9 lords of hell.
What?
That
What?
Is that even
I
possible?
think that makes less sense.
I think that would destroy our bodies. It nearly destroyed mine. Unless, consider when I went unconscious the second time. Raz said I had turned evil. I'm thinking it's because
Yeah,
they
I
had taken
did.
over my body. So I guess it is possible.
Can I do a history or arcana check to find out if that's a thing?
Sure can.
Okay.
I'd like to imagine us just walking
Also,
to the
if we
drinking
don't know
game.
what motivates Kynnis, as far as what he can have that he can't get by normal means, then I would probably ask the Thieves Guild what they know. There's no clue.
Okay.
I did it. Whoa.
Wait.
You do have one re-roll available with your special dice.
Okay.
I like how Ben's Arcana is just insane.
My most things is just insane.
Hold up.
My soul is insane. But you'd know that, wouldn't you?
Your soul is beautiful.
I rolled a 5 plus 6 for history.
Hold on, let me double check something and see if I can boost that. Come on, load like you're supposed to.
I know all history.
Hey, that's a good history.
Okay. Ferox.
Yeah.
Back when you were a kid, before everything got destroyed,
Oh.
you remember hearing a story from your father. It was a story used to actually try and convince you to stay away from Hammerfell and all of its clerics,
Awkward.
divine things,
Table.
where there was one point in time within the last 300 years or so that's trying to keep very secret, but the Dragonborn knew because they suffered some of the damage from it. There was one point where one of the 9 Lords of Hell was summoned into the body of a powerful paladin. And after a month of incubation, it broke out of the body and using its magical power created a new and terrifying devilish body for itself, befitting its power.
He wants to use us as incubators.
Or he already is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's one option, or he thinks that we're strong enough that we wouldn't be incubated.
No, I'm pretty sure Will just gave us something we were looking for.
Oh.
Aw.
And his
Is it
spouse
a boy or a
didn't
girl?
want the rest of it.
What? I've missed the last 10 seconds of
We're-
talking.
We're pregnant with.
Casting, you're
Hellord.
pregnant,
I'm pregnant.
and
Well-
Guinness is the father.
Don't jump to assumptions.
No! Common sense lady already said it.
No, I didn't.
And she's always right, and you're giving her a glare because she gave it away.
I know. I just.
You just led them in the wrong direction
I
because
know.
you said
I
something.
was trying to take it back.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Shut
I-
up.
They're going to think that they have Satan in them.
I don't think we
I
can. I
mean,
think that's what he wants to use the statue for.
Might be a little late.
In some situations, that's true.
I think he wants to summon. He wants to use the statue to summon the Nine Lords to put them in us to use us as incubators. Does
He needs the
he?
relic to do that, so he hasn't started the ritual yet, probably, or doesn't have the power to do it yet. What was that, Will?
It's possible.
I said crunch.
It's possible that
I knew.
Kinnis does not know the full story of what we just know, but only the part that this demon was summoned into the paladin.
Okay. So, in light of this recent information,
That was to use my sword to dig the Hellord out of my body.
You die.
You're not. Ugh.
in light of this recent information, or at
You're
least
not dead.
this connection,
He's dead.
Wait,
Just, he's dead now. He just.
I
he
got
was
sneak attack on myself.
No.
You're like hitting yourself with the flat of your blade. Be gone, Satan!
Get out!
ding, 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 ding.
Hitting myself with the pommel.
Yeah.
okay. How does this change our goals? In list of priority, how does this change our goals?
Still about the same.
Hang on. One question first. Do we know anything about like how that Hellord was summoned into a paladin?
Here, Will. Ferox.
Fire cactus?
We had no idea.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Austin.
Yay.
Alright, so we know a little more than speculation again.
It just makes it a little urgent, but I suspect we still need the rune off to kill Kinnis.
I say we need the rune off before we kill Kenneth. So yeah.
That's what I just said.
Okay, so here's what we know now. Kinnis wants control. He wants power. He believes he can do that by summoning the Nine Lords of Hell and somehow using the rune that's on us to control them, either by placing the runes on the Nine Lords somehow, or by placing them in our bodies and keeping them there somehow so that it's still under his control. He has thrown Hammerfell into civil war so that when he is ready, he is able to conquer the land more easily, specifically by taking out or hurting the City of Magic, which would be probably the hardest thing for him to beat.
Yep, those are the two cities most likely to attack him. That makes sense.
Gareth's probably pretty powerful, I would imagine.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is Gareth not that powerful?
No, it is.
Hey, Will, remind me to never ever let you write a choose your own adventure book.
half of the options just go to like go to the last page and it just says you died.
Revert back to the first page. You died.
If he weakens Noxia,
We're still in training.
if he weakens Noxia, he can better take over that city, and since it is the centerhold of magic, he could probably take over the rest of Hammerfell from there. So, now that we know a little more about Kinnis's plan, we still need to get the rune off, and we need to save Edra, and then we need to stop Kinnis. Our sources, we could get a little more information as to what to do immediately next by talking to Gillian, the Thieves Guild, Hearn, and going to meet with Kinnis tomorrow.
Let's not make Gillian one of our first options.
And if only you guys knew another magic caster.
There's Gold.
There's Theodore.
There's Kinnis. No, wait. Nurim. We can go to Nurim.
Let me look through our people that we know.
I'm gonna use the restroom, guys.
Okay, bye.
Quick, Katie, what can you tell us?
You are not pregnant,
Dang it.
apparently.
Aww. But the miracle of life.
So that option's
The
been aborted.
miracle of world-destroying demonic life.
The miracle of Hell Lords.
Yeah, that's gonna be all the people anyway.
What information do we get if I send you cookies?
Try.
Send your lemon bars.
Okay, so for Will, it's pomegranates, chocolate, and soft things.
And puppies. Send him puppies.
Don't send in puppies, please. Not yet.
That's a lot of things that just happened.
That is a list of people that we know.
Did you just type all that?
No, I copied and pasted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a
I'm pretty
bunch
sure
of people.
Adrian is dead.
What? I mean, who said that?
He's totally dead.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
super
sure he's dead
dead.
now.
You
Like,
aren't really that
we
stupid,
all
are you?
witnessed it.
Not
he's
really
dead.
stupid, are you? He's Adrian.
No, he's the Shadow Guardian.
Maybe he just met one too
Yeah.
many stupid people.
And you twerps think you defeated him?
Ooh.
No, we think we killed him.
Uh-huh.
There is a difference.
Okay. There's no helping y'all.
Wow.
Oh, thanks. You
Harsh
think we
goddess.
don't need help?
Some advice.
No.
Was it
Yes,
get
I told them pomegranates.
Did you tell them get good?
No. I hate that.
It's true though.
We're trying to get good.
We do know Fell, although I don't know if he'll be any help.
Well, he's already helped us once. He said we had to find the golden mage.
What did we establish was the capital of magic?
Nox, no.
Not,
Yes,
it's,
Noxia.
there's two cities that are the peaks of magic in Hammerfell, which is Noxia and Naoma, I thought.
And Gareth? Question
Gareth.
mark?
Because when I asked about it earlier, they told me Noxia and Naoma were the places for magic,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
like arcane magic, not divine magic.
Uh-huh.
can I roll to see if I remember the thing?
Oh, that thing? The thing
Yeah,
we
that
talked about
thing.
earlier?
The thing.
What thing?
If only those two cities
It's
had a library.
it's a memory, so I'll give you advantage. So you remember the thing.
Okay, good.
What's the thing?
I don't remember.
You just said you remembered it.
But well, I assume that I'm going to remember it eventually. Yes.
Okay.
Was he sitting like right next to AC?
No, I'm not.
Were you sitting right next to a plane?
No. It
Were you
just
sitting
decided.
inside your AC?
It just decides to do this. Yes, yes, I am. I am inside my AC.
Look at us.
Awesome.
We think over here.
It was the most comfortable place.
You first.
How about now?
Yeah, you sound fine now.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. I thought we had one, but we don't.
Maybe I can jack one from my mom. I mean,
Okay. Let's think here.
I could take her small one.
We want to get the rune off. In some manner speaking, that ring is supposed to help. One of the 28 rings.
Man, I love Bruinor. Couldn't figure out which one it was, so I bought all of them.
Yes. We do the dark chocolate.
No.
Okay, we're about to also be stalled for a bit while some of us are caught up in a drinking game.
That was the only bag we had of M&M's.
Oh, that's right.
During that time, Migas will be unavailable. I'm gonna need Raz's and they're arcane. I don't know if they're divine. Probably Chris's help with the rings to probably see what each one does, and see what kind of which one is the one we want.
Because it adds a little crunch.
Okay, so do we think we have an idea on how to make future strategies and plans and things?
I think we do.
Yeah.
Does it seem like it's working smoother? It's working a little better now.
You know, I think we're in a good place here, which means I really don't think we're gonna like survive.
Is Chris back yet?
No.
Okay, that's fine. He already knows about this. Okay, before we move on further, there is something I want to introduce to everybody. That's I'm introducing it a little early, but that's okay.
Oh yay, this.
What?
Everybody, look in your journals, or I could just do this.
Dynamic combat.
Fill out that with weapon.
Dynamite combat.
Man, that run rat's just.
Oh, counterattacks. That's not fun. Not with online dice.
But you can't even tell.
No, that only works if it's like a certain amount so far under their armor class.
Okay.
I think I'm going to say proficiency bonus. If it's lower than your proficiency bonus in their armor class, then they can make a counterattack.
Well, is this the same dynamic combat that we've experimented with before in the past?
A little bit. I ran a new experiment with Ben and Chris recently. We had a lot of fun. It was awesome. It changed combat. Now, the heart of combat is still the same. It's still turn-based, but it's a lot faster pace. It feels like everyone can be involved, despite whoever's turn it is. And it gives a lot more options. It makes combat more cinematic.
How would stuff like feinting and deflection work?
Fainting involves a couch.
Those are tactical actions.
Right. I'm wondering like how those would be like implemented and how they would work.
Okay, well, a feint is specifically like for an attack,
Mhm.
correct? So
Right.
when you are feinting an attack, the opponent has to roll a perception roll. Unless their passive perception beats it, then it's just a dexterity roll that's easier to beat. If they succeed, then their armor class remains. Then their armor class is, or you're given advantage.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. In dynamic combat, advantages and disadvantages stack.
Stack?
Ooh.
Yep. So
Ooh.
if you have advantage, you add +1 to the number you rolled. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, if you have more than one advantage, okay. So let's say Ben casts Fairy Fire
Mm-hmm.
on a bad guy.
Right.
You just do a feint and you roll a 19 somewhere. It's your second number. The first one's like a 12,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one's a 19. It looks like hit either way, but by feinting, you got the advantage. Plus, it's a stacked advantage, so you add +1 to that rolled 19. So even if your attack comes out to be like 27, you add the +1 to the rolled number, which makes it a 20.
Would that make it a natural 20?
So you crit. Yes.
Interesting. Are we going to start implementing this after Kinnis or right now?
This session, yeah. I don't know if you guys will engage in combat this session or not, but we're gonna start doing this new form of combat so that by the time you guys do beat Kinnis, you'll understand how to use it and how it works, and we won't be in training at all anymore.
New consequences to 1s and 20s.
Yep.
Such as, if we're allowed to know at all.
I have a chart. I can pull it up so I can read off a few. Resources, technical resources. Okay, so after you roll a crit, I'm gonna have you roll a D100. What is it?
33.
33. So you get an extra damage die.
Okay. What if I were to roll like a natural 1 and I rolled a 33?
You die.
What?
You said there's new consequences to rolling natural 1s and 20s, so
I got
what?
you. Okay. If you rolled a 1 and you rolled 33, you are disarmed. Have disadvantage on your next attack roll.
But if I become disarmed, I can't attack. Period. I have no arms.
I'll say it's like your hand went numb.
Okay.
The blow landed wrong, and now your hand went numb.
An acrobatic action would be like if I spun and kicked the enemy.
Yes. So, as part of dynamic combat, I want to make sure you guys can utilize cinematically how your class can be helpful. Okay. So, instead of taking just a tactical action, so like Runt could take a lot of those tactical actions, but they're not quite so helpful for you as a monk.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you can make an acrobatics tactic. Let's say you want to disarm somebody, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of making just a tactical action where you roll against someone's strength to disarm them, you would say, I'm doing it as an acrobatic action, and then they have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
So instead of you just like running up, grabbing somebody's axe and then like trying to pull it away, it's more like you ran up, you slide on the ground underneath them, dip between their hands and then grab the axe and then jump using the force of your special ability to spin around and yank the axe out of their hand.
Okay.
So I'm still not clear on like which things fit where. Like, because clear, like, we don't have each of these things on a turn, right? We can't take all of these things at once.
Right. So you have essentially we're reducing it to just actions. Okay. You know, the book says you have your move action, you have your action, and you have your attack action, you have your attack action, you have a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Well, instead we're changing it to, I mean, the bonus action is going to stay the same, but instead of calling it move, we're just going to call every available action.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, base, you have 3 actions total, right?
Right.
Traditionally, you use it as a move, an attack, and attack.
Right.
Well, instead of that, we're just going to call it actions, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so you could use a move action, you can use an attack action. A reaction is different. That's closer to the bonus action. Like, mental action is closer to a bonus action. The opportunity action is mostly when I tell you to, but it's more like a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
The response action is on its own. The chain action costs several actions in order to use. It's actions used simultaneously. Combo action, okay? So in order to simplify it, instead of saying this is replacing this action or this is replacing this action, we're reducing to you have 3 actions.
Okay.
So the next time your class says you get an extra attack or whatever, you have 4 actions.
I don't think any of my classes ever said that I get an extra attack.
You do at 5th level. That's the same thing for like all classes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So if I were to use Flurry of Blows, would that give me 2 more actions or just 2 more bonus actions?
No, Flurry of Blows is strictly with an attack action.
Okay. I just get 2 hits for an attack.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You're utilizing the efficiency of your ability to strike and to hit in order to lower both. Just because you can punch really fast, one right after another, doesn't mean you can like punch one time really fast and then do a somersault to another guy and then punch him really fast and then do a somersault to another guy and then punch him really fast.
But what if I took like Flurry of Blows, but I wanted to make them targeting action for those like 2 hits? Would I be going too fast to target anything in particular?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
What if I used Flurry of Blows and then, but I wanted to, because it's an attack action, could I also make it like a targeting action?
Yeah, I'd say you could do that.
Okay.
Although I'd like you to call it before you do the Flurry of Blows.
Okay. Okay, I can work on that. Do we
actually say he has extra attacks?
It doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's a College of Valor thing. At 6th level, I get an extra attack, but in College of Lore, I don't.
So does everyone still only get like 1 reaction per turn?
Initially, yeah.
Okay.
But it's I have more control over dynamic combat.
Uh-huh.
So things like reactions and opportunity actions, response actions, a lot of actions are very dictated by the context of combat. Okay.
Okay.
Ben and Chris can attest to this. When last time we tested it, I mean, it was still turn-based, and there was still a lot of just moving and attacking, but it felt completely different. So much changed in an instant based on the context of what was going on.
Mm-hmm. How would if you could give any kind of examples, how would one be able to have like more reactions in a turn?
That would... Why?
Why what?
Why? Why a reaction?
Because
Why?
monks have cool reaction stuff.
Well,
Don't be a reactive person, Chase. Be proactive.
Man, they are not fond of giving you guys extra attacks like at all.
No, it's really only fighters.
Also in 5e, I think like the extra attacks. It's not like you get an extra.
It's only if
action
you like
for an
take.
attack.
Yeah.
It's just if you take the attack action, you get an extra attack.
Yeah.
Like you can't. I can't cast 2 spells that have 2 attacks.
I may have to make my own unique table. A experience branches board
For actions.
for actions.
Ooh.
I would like that.
That would be cool.
But I would also not like that, because that means our enemies get it too.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
It also means more experience I have to spread out.
Next thing. Hopefully last thing before we move in game.
Mm-hmm.
From here on out, especially with the introduction of dynamic combat, the flow of combat is going to be critically important. Okay. It means you need to know your stuff. You need to know what decisions you're going to make. You need to know how the rest of the group is going to move. Now, because of that, you guys have already noticed how it's easier to note the strengths of certain people and let them be in charge of certain diplomatic situations, yes?
I don't know why they keep telling me to talk to people.
Point being, it will make combat significantly easier if your group chooses one person to be like the combat captain, okay? Now let me describe what this will entail.
I vote Nist.
I vote Midas.
Theodore,
Explain.
I almost feel
Theodore.
like Ben could do
Always,
it.
yeah.
Midas would be the
Theodore, what do we do? What? Okay,
Make you a stew.
so here's the thing. This person, first and foremost, at the very least, I will grant them access to everyone else's character sheet. And they will have to know everyone else's spells, everyone else's attacks, everyone else's weapons, everyone else's armor. And you will have to meet as a group and come up with your own tactics, which that person will be responsible for remembering.
It's very difficult for us to meet in person due to conflicting schedules.
No, it would still work via Google Docs just to
Yep.
do that. these tactics won't be changing. It'll be like, oh, hey, we've run across a group of 3 knights. 3 knights.
Well, that's a little too rigid. You want more adaptability. You'll want like a list of typical attacks for individuals, for one. So, like, biggest, it'd be like Fog Cloud. Typical attack. So a list of the favorite attacks that you have first, just as individuals. And then as you keep going, you'll want to come up with tactics based on situations you've run into that would be helpful. So you don't want the combat leader to say,
well, yeah,
guys, execute Plan 17, because there's only like one other of you is likely to know what Plan 17 is.
Activate Plan 17.
We'd give them cool
There's no
names.
dragon here.
I think it'd be more like, okay, it's a bunch of knights with armor on that's metal. Let's use heat and lightning stuff. And like focusing on which ones to take out and things like that, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. This person will also be given a very unique ability to go along with their responsibility, in that they can speak to you guys to give you advice for combat out of turn.
Oh, that's so cool.
And out of game. Okay? So let's say the party split up. Castian's hiding somewhere in some building by himself. He doesn't have anyone there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, analyzing the situation, the combat leader who understands Castian's abilities, and like how they work together, and understanding how they can stack together. I want you to be responsible to know your own stuff just as well.
Right.
If you, because of the pressure of the moment, you're kind of freaking out, you can't think very much, whoever the combat captain is, despite them not being there, I will
Okay. I don't know if any of us are ready to step up to that role.
Actually, I have a suggestion.
Oh.
Now, you don't have to pick who I recommend, though I would hope that it holds some weight. I actually recommend Chris. Chris has demonstrated in almost every session that you've had combat that firstly, he thinks of the group first in everything that he does. So we can trust that despite being the combat captain, he's not going to worry about how to make his character look the coolest out of everyone there, and not worry about like focusing on you guys. He is going to have the group first at all times. He is going to consider all of your. He is already trying to learn intimately the ginormous spell, the ginormous list of cleric spells, which is very impressive. I see him studying his spells all the time. 3, he offers advice and tactics already, all the time. Every time you guys have had an encounter, Chris has either said and been ignored, or said and barely been listened to. Very, very unique insights on what the enemy are doing and what the group is doing, because he's paying attention to everyone as the support character rather than just himself. More than anything else, his class fits it really well. Not only does it work well for him being the healer to call some of the shots, but it also of war, because he's in a unique position to gain information on the combat that none of you are able to believe. So that's my recommendation. You guys don't like it? Offer up somebody else.
I'd be
I vote
willing to
Castian.
accept. Yeah,
What?
I'd be willing to accept that if we all agreed on it. Unfortunately, only half of us are here.
Yeah.
Although I don't believe there would be much argument with that decision. Of all the people that come to my mind in our group, you're the only one I can think of that would fit a role like that.
Are you sure Nessie wouldn't fit better?
Yes. Don't put Tori as leader, please.
I
Nessie
also
would.
to recommend Theodore.
Chris, I was going to vote for you, but
I was too, but then he said Theodore.
Maybe if Tori had more time, she could do this. But she's too busy of a person outside of the game to be able to do this.
She really is. It already affects her in game.
Yeah, so I don't want to put more pressure on her that she can't handle.
Mm-hmm. It's also kind of funny how we rule people out because of their characters.
Well, I mean,
What do you mean?
I'm not entirely sure if I would trust Migas with being in control of the battlefield, considering that he's always drunk and pretty chaotic. But I don't know how you would do, Austin.
The only thing I would have to say in defense of Migas being that person, and I'm for the record, I'm more than happy having you do it, Chris. But look at his backstory.
Yeah, I took that into consideration.
Yeah,
But we don't know his backstory.
I know he's a war veteran.
I know he's a general, or was a general, but
he's covered wars.
none of us officially know that because he hasn't gotten a chance to share, or maybe he doesn't want to share.
I think I threw that in somewhere. Oh, but yeah, he Migas was a war hero.
Dude, we'd love to hear some war stories over the campfire or something. If Migas wants to tell any,
I will make some up one day.
cool. Maybe I will too.
Yeah,
Maybe I will too.
I love it when I make up stories. Never past tense.
I like to imagine Raz like in the middle of a battlefield, not really knowing what's going on, just kind of dodging everyone while they're fighting around him.
Being the combat leader because he is able to sit back and dictate who needs what.
Now, he is just a leader, so I want to make it clear whoever's the leader is not taking away your freedom.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Your character is still your character. You still do what you want to do. You still do what you need to do. You make your own decisions. And you offer advice to the tactical commander. You are the one, if you see something, if you roll like a high arcane check and you see a trap and Sir Ross doesn't notice it, tell him. If
I would really appreciate that.
If it turns out Migas happens to, for some reason, have a higher insight on a battle that's going on, offer advice. If you have an idea that seems a little out there, Ben,
Ben,
but it just might work, offer it up. But in having somebody who is in like, you guys are going to make decisions so much faster, which keeps the flow of combat going. And two, it's going to keep information organized for everybody. Okay? It's going to be very valuable.
Yeah, I agree.
So cute.
Did Brad tell you where he went?
His internet just like straight died. So, You don't have to decide now. Get with the group. I need an answer by next session.
Okay.
Do you want to post that on the Eternal Heroes page, Will?
I can. Yeah.
Thank you.
I also want an adjusted list of priorities. Or an adjusted plan, really. Get with the group. Spend the week figuring out what to do, who to get involved, what your next actual action is. What are you guys going to actually do? How are you going to accomplish this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your end goal, how are you going to get there? And of course, it has to be a flexible plan. Don't make too many details, okay? I throw curveballs at you guys all the time, every session.
Ruinor.
We know.
So your plan has to be flexible.
Bruno was a good curveball, though.
Fantastic curveball.
Yeah. Yeah, just wait.
Made for such a great interaction that I so terribly handled.
No, Bruinor is a paladin of the Great Smith. You can trust that he's good.
He's
Yeah.
completely evil.
We just can't trust him to be wise with the things he does and says.
He's a dwarf.
He's great.
Yeah.
He didn't
What?
like.
You trust him to be good in
What's
those
that,
regards.
Great Smith? You want me to bash this lad's brains in for insulting you? Oh, okay.
He didn't seem to like my impression very much. I thought it was spot on.
I think it was heresy. And I don't even worship the Great Smith.
All right.
I'm pretty sure Rise is an atheist.
I'm sure there will be plenty of conversation over the strat chat this week. If there are any questions, ask me. If you feel like you've come to a point where you just on a ton of rabbit trails, remember to refocus. Try and stay on the goal. If you need me to get involved, move it to the other chat.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay? That's perfectly okay. This is training for a reason. We're trying to teach you guys how to get to the point to be able to do this yourselves, like in nature.
Can we extend training another year?
No.
Is that a challenge?
Yes, it is.
Ben,
Where, Will, you remember
Dark
that?
Souls. Training only goes so far.
That's fair.
Go ahead, Chris.
Will, what was that place we went to a while ago? It was like an hour or so drive from Riverbend. It's a tabletop place that we thought about.
Yeah.
Azarin?
What do we think about that?
That would be doing the in-person session.
I know.
Oh, do you mean
But-
like consistently? What do we think about doing that consistently?
Yes. I thought we were gonna try for like once a month.
Is this a place in Waco?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
If one of you guys wants to come get me,
Could you make
All
that?
right. I can come get you. And Clay.
Depending on when we did it, yeah, I could make the trip because it's in Waco. It's an hour from me,
Cool. And I know
a
Brad,
little more than an hour.
I got something important to tell you, but I can tell you tomorrow.
no, well, I'm muting my mic. What is it?
Okay.
are you sure you can pick up Chase?
Next Monday and Tuesday.
Me?
I mean, next week's Monday
Yeah.
and Tuesday.
That's like an
Google is
that turns the
having
drive
a,
into like a 5-hour drive.
Thing where they're giving.
Really? How
or a
long is
thing
it
at
from
Discovery
Riverbend?
Park, where they're giving away.
It's an hour from
continues,
We'd be
Riverbend.
driving. It would be
internships
dropping them
and,
off too. That's right.
Job offers.
Next Monday, Tuesday?
Yep.
No, probably not.
They sent emails out. And in order to go, you have to sign up using
I bet.
their form and
Or you
getting
could
the
do it.
resume too.
Man.
That seems like.
Chase, where are you at again?
I'm at UNT in Denton.
Oh,
Gotta stop mumbling.
Oh,
Never mind.
yep.
never
That,
mind.
that doesn't do me any good.
See, I still have to take physics, but I want to take it over the summer. I can't do an internship and take physics over the summer.
The only
But at the
problem
same
I
time,
see
this
with
is a
it
huge opportunity.
right now
Mhm.
is like
Well,
today,
let's see,
since we
see
got off
here
at like
at the-
7, that means the
by
session
applying.
wouldn't start till like
I'd
9
say
or 10.
if you can get it, do it and do physics either
Yeah.
next summer or at UNT.
Chase, you should learn how to
Because
drive
I'd say
cars and then
that's
steal
much
one.
more worth it than
Yes.
doing
Play two.
physics over the summer just to make it easier on you.
But I want it to be
I do think it's worth
Google
looking into
internship would
figuring.
make your life easier.
Yes, it would. An internship at Google would be fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you for the info.
You're welcome. You might have it in your email. I checked the date I got it.
All right,
It
I
was
will look into that,
the
figuring that
14th of
out.
this month.
You guys have quite a bit to look at this week. As soon as possible. I mean, like as soon as possible. I would like a combat captain.
We communicate very slowly.
Individually, I think we should all create a rundown of our character for whoever we choose to be combat captain, and then we can send that to them later.
Yeah, that'd be good. And they'll also have access to your character sheets.
I need to reorganize my character sheet then so it's more readable.
Yes, I would appreciate that. Because the sooner you get the combat captain, the sooner I can work with them.
Yeah.
I don't want to drop you guys like a ball and just be like, start making your own tactics. Because I was the combat captain for most of my campaigns. So I know what it's supposed to look like, how it's supposed to work. I want to make sure whoever you vote in is successful, because that will make the group successful. I am going to start talking to the diplomacy people soon. Who was that? Castian and Brad.
Yeah, we were the main two.
We'll start training in diplomacy a little bit. We can learn how to do that better. So lots of training.
Oh, I have so much to do.
I'm so happy that we're being trained here at the end of training.
Yeah.
We'll finally realize just how bad we are.
No, we've just gotten to the point where we need a little bit more direct assistance in order to understand certain things. We've gotten to the point where you understand everything all the other players who play Dungeons and Dragons understand. Now I need to teach you how to play in my campaign.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Any questions before I go?
Yes. If you had any hand in what happened in the last episode of Critical Role, you are a blinding genius and a madman.
Okay, describe the trap for me.
No, it's better if you watch it tomorrow. If at any point you get a chance.
No, but let's describe the trap.
Okay, was it man, I've sent him so many. Was it a trap that led into an ambush? Or was it a trap that utilized environment and assisted an ambush? Or was it like just a straight ambush, or was it just a straight trap?
It was a trap that led into an ambush.
Okay. I know explosives were involved.
Just watch it tomorrow when they upload it.
Well, now I want to watch it too.
Was it okay? Was it a targeted? Was it like specifically? I mean, it would have hurt the whole group, but was it specifically meant to injure everyone and serve as a distraction in order to kill one individual person?
I don't know if that's I can't say too much without spoiling some other stuff. What episode are you on currently?
But he did ask me for a specific trap for one individual player. He wanted to see if there was. He wanted to find a way to humble Percy a little bit.
Well, if he ever needs to humble him a lot, send him the trap.
If you want spoilers, I could absolutely give you spoilers.
Did I kill Percy? Did he use my trap? Did he die?
Percy died.
Oh.
What?
Not from the trap, but it not from the trap directly, but it hurt him enough that he died very soon after.
From the assassination.
It was more direct than assassination, but
Yeah, but that was the.
Killing someone, that's called murder.
He wanted, Percy always he's always using range. Long range, mid range.
Okay.
He's always
All right.
using range.
let me tell you what happened.
Crap, that would take that away.
All right, Will, what episode of Critical Role are you on? Will, what episode of Critical Role are you on?
Last I left off, they were about to enter the tree and get Vex's bow.
Okay.
I'm way behind.
All right.
Well, I don't recommend telling Critical Role fans that you're the one making all the traps.
Okay. So
I hope it was mine.
I can
Oh,
give you
man.
I can give you a quick summary of everything that happened.
Okay,
So they get the bow.
I want to know so bad. Okay.
Then they go to Ank'Harel, right? They go to meet John Sword. And in the desert and stuff. Because they're looking for Cabal's ruin. Well, when they're looking around, they find out that the owner who had it has been killed with bullets.
That's
Plot twist, Ripley has come back and is now hunting down the vestiges. Because when it turns out that the gun Percy took from Ripley that Ripley had made had an enchantment on it, allowing her to hear everything that Vox Machina ever talked about.
Okay.
So they finally learn about that, and they get rid of it. But by this time, she has collected 2 of the vestiges, Cabal's Ruin and Whisper.
Okay.
And so Vox Machina hires an airship to go track her down, where she's currently at the Isle of Glass, hunting another vestige.
Okay.
Excuse me. Well, when they get there, they find her ship, and they start kind of looking around the island and stuff for her. When they walk into a trap, which is gunpowder kegs, barrels going off, creating a giant crater, injuring everyone.
Oh, that's my trap! That's the first trap I used to kill my party!
Oh.
And then Ripley and her crew of about several people, all having guns, come out.
Yep, because I did that with my bow.
Start coming out to attack Vox Machina, where Percy almost died like 6 times. Right? And so it finally looks like Vox Machina's getting the upper edge, but then Ripley reveals she made a deal with Orthax, who was the demon or the fiend that Percy had made a deal with. And now Ripley has a 6-barreled gun with a list of names on it. Percy's being one of them.
That's awkward.
So it focuses everything on Percy. Going to kill him. Right? While a bunch of shenanigans happened. end the fighting. And then Ripley just kind of shoots him in the head and the heart.
Oh.
They killed Orthax because they considered him the biggest threat, but then Ripley, I think they got rid of his present form, so he's back in the Abyss. And then Ripley came over, and by this time they were out of healing spells. Percy had like a hit point left,
Oh my goodness.
and Ripley kills Percy, and then the rest of Vox Machina goes nuts and shreds Ripley to pieces.
And now they have to find a way to resurrect Percy, huh?
If so,
Kill Percy!
it was such a poetic ending the way it actually happened that Taliesin may be considering not bringing Percy back.
Ugh.
Also,
Oh, that
plot
would-
twist: Kanan was with Ripley.
Ooh. Yeah, I gotta catch up. I killed Percy
Will,
Which is why I immediately texted
with
you.
my first trap!
are the rest of them worse?
Well, some are more complicated. Because see, in the original one that I sent him, it's not keg powder. It was with magic runes. So as soon as the group enters the center of the crater, the runes explode. The crater's filled. Whoever's attacking them walks up, deals a little bit of damage to bring the focus on them, and then as they're going up the crater, they actually trigger a separate rune, which causes explosion on the cliffside and brings the rocks like on the cliffside falling on top of the group.
Oh my gosh.
You
Wow.
plan to stick them in a crater after blowing him up and then drop an avalanche on them.
That's how
It
I
was-
killed my brother when they betrayed me.
That's actually pretty tame for some of the stuff we've come up with, Will.
It was so close to being a TPK.
Did
He just wanted it. I didn't think.
Will, it was such a great episode. Everyone
Did
loved
you-
it.
for any of the traps you gave him, did
Do you want to kill them or do you just want to help them?
I don't know. I guess he's humbled.
Terrible.
But great.
How did you not see the Twitter on this?
Because I avoid it. Because I hate spoilers, but I wanted to know if I did it. And I did. Oh,
Will-
yeah, after training.
Will,
was-
were any of the traps that you gave him our trap?
No. No, the first time I gave him a trap, it was a really, really hard trap, and he said he wanted things that were not so TPK.
Well, you nearly TPK'd him with the gunpowder.
Total party kill.
No. What you need to do is give him our trap and have him use it in a way that this party just gets to watch what happens. when our trap goes off.
All of their friends die.
How is our trap doing, Will? Do you know what the kill count is right now?
Man, I haven't been keeping a total count.
What trap is this?
I know that like 3 days ago it consumed 4 more players.
I think we're somewhere around 30 then.
They made a trap that was so good I left it in the to forgot.
You left it in the realm of the Mount of the Forgotten.
Yeah.
The Mount of the Forgotten is on the DM's guild, so other DMs use it. But they have to have my permission, and one of my requirements, they tell me what happened. Because I love hearing stories from the Forgotten Mount. They're so great. And always end in death.
Almost always.
Will, tell them the story of the race that started at the beginning of our trap.
Well, a guy saw the trap and wanted to test it, so he decided to have a race in his fraternity. So there was like 30 players involved. No, trap is set up after a few tweaks and improvements I made. So that first, people run past a trigger room. It wastes a few seconds so everyone's inside the trap. A wall of fire springs in front of them, and then, like, a blast of wind pushes them off the stairs into, like, an abyss. Well, players commonly have slow fall, so normally that doesn't hurt them. So I added an additional fact that whenever the trap is triggered, the stairs slowly begin to push out grinding teeth. So pretty much anyone who falls for this trap dies.
Stay on the stairs and not get thrown off by the gust of wind. There's another whole series of things that will kill
Oh
you.
yeah, there's more things that happen.
They just it's gonna open.
Huh?
Why wouldn't they just hold?
No. No.
Growing grinding teeth. Like the wall from bed to the stairway.
I guess I can't change it.
No, I guess not.
I don't know what right.
Anyway, it kills pretty much everything. So, like the first time it was tested,
No,
it
you
consumed
watched
30
it.
souls.
You and I have watched it, yeah. Because I hadn't seen it either until we'd watched it.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night. See you guys next time. Ben and Austin.
1 second, Will.
Okay.
It was such a poetic death.
I'll see it.
Yes.
Are you guys tired?
No.
Yeah. Do you wanna Dark Souls together?
I might later. I'm gonna watch a movie with Amanda.
Ben, do you wanna Dark Souls with me, Ben?
I'm down for dying.
Oh yes.
Super cool.
All right, man. I will be on in
I lied. Glorious Bastards.
minutes when I get back.
Huel.
Yep. My wife and I are gonna go